Welcome back, and today we are going over these teeny tiny play sets, but this time it's for candy. Alright guys, this is like the fourth video I'm doing on these teeny tiny play sets, but I just love them. They're so cool. This is the first time that I think we're actually getting branded Teeny Tinies. So we have Bazooka Bubblegum, which also doubles for Ring Pop, and we have Pez, and then we also have Sweet Tarts. Sweet Tarts aren't my favorite, but it'd be kind of cool to just have some miniature ones for your figures. So definitely most excited probably for the Pez, because you can have one of your figures holding a Pez, which I think is super awesome. But they also come with something else that's pretty cool. So we're going to take a closer look at these and check them out. Alright, so here are the three Teeny Tinies playsets that are branded candies, which is super exciting because what other brands could they actually start releasing? Now, there's the mini brands that I've bought before for dioramas or props, but sometimes they're too big and they don't scale well with figures. These look like they scale perfectly, so I'm going to spare you from doing individual episodes on all of these. I figured I can get it all done in one shot, but we have branded packaging for Smarties, a branded package for Pez, and then one that is Bazooka and Ring Pop together, which I think is super cool. So let's get these out of the box. We'll order them out like we normally do, and then we'll check them out. Okay, so that's everything. That is everything from those three packs. There's a lot to look at here, and I think we're going to start with my least favorite, Smarties. Smarties were those candies that you probably didn't eat first. They're probably at the bottom of the Halloween pail or your bag, and you were just eating them because they were there. So still not my favorite. They might be some of your favorites. It's definitely not my go-to candy. I'm never craving Smarties, but if they're there, I'll eat them. So starting off, this really puts the teeny and tiny because these are so small. You get this display box, and then you get 6 little individual wrapped Smartie packs, which is kind of cool. So display your figures holding those. I think they're just small enough where you could read Smarties. Definitely not on my camera, but this is pretty cool. And then it comes in the carrying box, so you at least have a place to put them. So I think that's pretty neat. And then you get these giant tubs. So this is like Smartie Lollipops, and this is Smartie Originals, so I'm assuming this is just a big tub of these right here. So I guess if you're buying bulk at Costco, that's what you're going to get them in. Then this one's pretty cool. This is another display case, but it actually comes with one piece, but it looks like 4 boxes of Smarties. So pretty creative just to make it look like a bunch of boxes together, even though it's one, and you can put it into this little tray here. Then you get another pouch. I think they're serving when you buy like the fun size. This is a 3-pound bag, it says. So 3 pounds of Smarties there, so you'll never run out. And I don't know what these are. I think these are like paper sheet candy. So if I didn't like Smarties already enough, now I definitely don't like them if they're stuck to paper. I used to hate those candies when you used to have to peel them off the paper. But you get original, you get tropical, and you get extreme sour. So I don't know, maybe if I'm in the mood for Smarties, I'll try those other, I guess, exotic flavors. But for me, yeah, these are definitely my least favorite candy. But as far as diorama props or accessories, these are pretty cool. So I won't knock them completely because they are pretty cool. Now we're going to move over to the middle here, and this pack was actually kind of a 2-for-1. So you get Bazooka, but then you also get Ring Pop. Now I will say Ring Pops are probably more of my favorite than Bazooka, but Bazooka brings back a lot of nostalgic memories. If you've ever played Little League and you've sat in the dugout, you were hoping that one of the kids brought this giant tub of Bazooka. So you'd be sitting there chewing on that chalky gum. The flavor goes away in like 5 seconds, but pretty cool. These are definitely reminiscent to my Little League days, so I do love having that. And then you do get a display case with 60 pieces of gum. So they do come out of this display box, and it comes in this little tub here, so you get 2 of those, but then it just fits right back into that package. And then you do get another box, and same thing with the Smarties. It looks like a bunch of boxes together, but it's really just one box that goes into this display. And what I really love, and I mean this is super small, but you actually do get a little piece of gum, so that will definitely fit in some of our figures' hands. I think it's just a piece of plastic with a sticker around it, but pretty awesome. And the lettering, even though you might not be able to see it on my camera too well, is pretty good. Like, it says Bazooka clearly a bunch all throughout the piece, so pretty awesome. Now moving on to the Ring Pop, where you don't get as much, but you do get this pouch of Ring Pop. I loved a good Ring Pop. I never turned it down. I remember the commercials. They used to have a bunch of kids with them all over their fingers, look like fine jewelry, but I still love Ring Pops today. If someone was to give me a Ring Pop, I'd eat it immediately. But you do get some of these display cases, which is pretty awesome because these Ring Pop packets do come out, and then you can put them right back in, so cool artwork there. And then you do get some extra ones right here that you can put in this extra display. Now, the only thing I wish they could have done, but it would have been super small, if you gave us this piece of gum, you could have probably given us a ring. If they would have made a Ring Pop that actually fits onto the figures, this probably would have been my favorite, but I still like what they did give us. I think this is a cool assortment, and it's cool that you get 2 brands in one pack. And now we're moving over to my favorite pack of these branded candies, and that is Pez. Always loved Pez. I didn't really collect them all too much. I definitely had the 4 Ninja Turtles one, and then throughout the years I'd pick them up and you never eat them, forget I had them, but still these scale pretty good with figures. They look like they do. So let's look through these items. I think these are probably the poorest executed. I think it's supposed to be a pack of Pez, but it's just a piece of clear plastic with the cardboard in the back. So I don't know if that kind of wins the prize there, but I see what they were trying to do. I don't think it really worked. You do get this box of refill Pez, so you'll never run out. So pretty cool detail on most of the box. You get these display cases, which I think are for probably the stars of the show, these actual Pez dispensers. So they just fit in right here, and they fit nice and snug. So you do get 4 of these Pez dispensers. These are pretty rad. I think they nailed it. For as small as these are, they have the exact shape, and you do get 4 kind of generic characters. So you get a pink cupcake, a green cheeseburger, then you get a red pizza. I think we know who that's gonna go with. And then you get a blue taco. But probably my favorite part of these, other than the Pez dispensers, are all these refills. So these are just so damn cool. You get 8 different flavors, so they didn't skimp out on these different Pez dispensers and the refills. So not only do you get a whole box, you get 2 of these, but then you get 8 of these individually wrapped refills. And I think this takes the cake. The Pez one is definitely the best, probably the most playability as far as putting them in your figure's hands. But yeah, these are awesome. I skipped out on a few of the Teeny Tinies. I skipped out on the taco one, even though it's cool. I have the sushi one. I didn't do a video on it. I opened it before I could do a video. But when I saw these and saw that it was the first time they're doing branded Teeny Tinies, I had to get them and I had to show you guys. So now one of the coolest aspects of this pack is that you get a Build-A-Figure, but not a Build-A-Figure. You get a Build-A-Rack. So now you have a place to actually display all of those candy pieces. So if you were making any kind of corner store diorama, bodega, whatever you call it, grocery store, you know, you can put these side by side and you automatically kind of have a backdrop to go in front of those walls to kind of fill up space. So these are probably, of all the Teeny Tinies I reviewed, probably the most useful. So let's get some of these built. I'll show you how you build one. They're super easy, just takes a little figuring out. And then we'll get all the candy on the shelves and check them out. So these are all the pieces that you get for the shelf. So you get these cross beams, you get the shelves, and then you have some of these holders where you can actually put the advertisement, which is pretty cool. So these are a little tricky. They're not as intuitive, you know, as just regular toys, but they still work pretty well. So I think what you do first is you take these cross beams, and then you have this type of piece, and you just got to make sure that it lines up correctly. So this doesn't go here, and actually this one goes, because it has to line up flush. So you'll see that one goes there. This one goes here. And then you have this piece that is kind of like the border of the bottom. That will just go on to that piece right there. So now you got that. Now you can pretty much just plug in your shelf pieces where you want them. So I like to put one all the way down at the bottom for support. We'll do one in the middle, and then just make sure they're even, and then I'll do one all the way at the top. So there you have a little shelf display. Even if you wanted to keep it like this for another scene, you could. Now this part was a little tricky. Now to get the advertisement in, you do have to kind of push it flat against here, and then you have to slide this piece on. So it's going to bend the cardboard a little bit, but I mean, you know, this is cheap enough where you're not going to care all too much. So let's see if I can get it without destroying it too much. I think you just want to start it. Let's see. So I think this is the front. So you just want to get it in that groove, and then just kind of hold this right here, and you're just going to kind of slide it in. So that's on there. Just get it to the middle. Now that that's on, you can go ahead, take this, and then these holes plug into the top here. Now you have your Pez display, and then you can put this on top, and there you have it. There's your Pez display. So I'll get the other one put together, and then we'll do some final shots. Alright guys, all of the racks are assembled, all of the displays are there, and you can see this is kind of the beginning of maybe a store dio. So already some of your props are made for you, and you can double these as other things. So if you want to take all the candy off and the advertisements, maybe these shelves can be weapon racks in an armory. You know, you can really use these for different things, which I think is pretty awesome. But to have them posed with all my turtles and the candy, I think these are pretty rad. So definitely go out and get these. Five Below, they're $5. They're on those blister packs, so don't look for them in the box. But I think these are a really good buy, and I mean, for $5, can you really beat sets like this? So thanks for sticking around throughout all of these teeny tiny videos. This is the last one I'm going to do, I swear. I'm going to start working on some reviews, and I have a lot of projects coming. I'm loving X-Men 97, so I think the next month or so is going to be almost nothing but X-Men dioramas. So I'm going to see which ones I have on my list of projects I want to do and get started on those. But in the meantime, enjoy these sets. Go out and find them, guys. All right, if you could, as always, like and subscribe. Much appreciated, and we'll catch you next time.